Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
And welcome to the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, and I'm joined today by your City Manager for the City of Oshkosh, Mark Roloff. Mark, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Great to be here, Andy.
All right, very good. Well, in the first half of today's show, we'll talk about some municipal news updates that are going on around town. And then we'll take a short break and come back and talk about agenda highlights from the upcoming Tuesday, March 9th Common Council meeting. So we'll dive right in, Mark. I know that people are interested in vaccine information. The city doesn't provide vaccine, but there are resources where they can learn more about their opportunities to find vaccination appointments.
Yeah, we know that there's certainly a lot of hope that people are going to get their vaccine soon, but I tell everybody just be patient, but check with your healthcare provider or pharmacy. And you can look at our COVID page on our website.
Right.
We're directing people to public health information, so you'll certainly get information that way. So we want to make sure that people stay as informed as possible, so that when their turn comes up for getting a vaccine, they can get it done as quickly as possible.
Sure, and there are more opportunities that seem to be popping up all the time, so just be watchful for that. And then also government meetings, our public meetings will be virtual for a while yet.
Yeah, we're going to keep them through April, and just stay tuned with that. But all of our council meetings and our board and commission meetings are going to remain virtual, so appreciate people's understanding with that. I know that that's, for some people, that's not the greatest, and I understand that.
Sure.
There is a value to having that face-to-face interaction, but we're still not over the hump yet, so ask
Right.
people to just hang on a little more.
Okay, all right, and also just as a reminder that City Hall is open.
Yeah, City Hall is open. We are getting a lot of online traffic, and that's certainly a great idea, but we want people to know that if they absolutely feel they need to meet with someone, we've got all the safety protocols in place for both our employees as well as the public, and we want people to have a good experience. And so if you feel you need to meet with someone directly, we'll make that happen for you.
Okay, all right, well, very good. And kind of continuing on talking about vaccinations and that sort of thing, Go Transit is providing some free transportation for folks that are on their way to COVID-19 vaccination appointments.
We've been collaborating with transit providers throughout the Fox cities to offer that. So Go Transit's on board with that, literally and figuratively. All of Winnebago County is in the Go Transit area. Rides on Go Transit are free for individuals who are able to access public transit and are traveling to a vaccine appointment. So you don't have to have any proof or a proof of vaccination required. Just tell the driver you're going to a COVID-19 appointment, and we'll be doing that throughout the rest of the year. So we want to encourage people to get their vaccinations, and we're working with County Health to make sure that happens. And we really appreciate working with the County Health Department and the other transit providers in the area. And get more details from the County Health Department website. They got tons of information and how you can get their free transportations right there. Just click and you'll be able to ride for free. If you need a ride to get to vaccinations, we do not want transportation to be a barrier for you to get it.
Right, right. And this service is available through the end of the year, through December 31st, 2021. And also folks can access paratransit through this same program. There are a lot more details with this. There are quite a few options available for folks, so we encourage them to visit that Winnebago County Health website that you see on the screen there. That has all the details because there are a lot of different options available to folks. So we encourage them to use it. Okay, and then also, Mark, we have some good news here with the Oshkosh Fire Department. They received a very high rating recently.
Yeah, every several years, the City Fire Department is evaluated by the Insurance Services Organization, ISO, and we have been upgraded to a public protection classification of 1 by the ISO, which is the absolute highest rating possible. This is the first time we've ever received it, and of 40,000 fire departments in our country, there are only 388 departments nationwide that receive a rating of 1. So we're in the top 1% of all fire departments in the country. There are only 8 other fire departments, or 8 fire departments total, including us, that have that rating. That's something to be very proud of. And it's not just our fire department. The water supply, water reliability is an important part. So, I want to thank our Public Works Department for working very closely with the fire department to provide all of the necessary information that ISO is seeking to get information about our water service. That was a huge factor in us getting up to the 1 rating as well. So great fire department, great utility department equals an ISO rating of 1.
Well, that's excellent. And actually, this means potentially some good news for folks that this may influence their insurance rates a little bit.
Whether it's business or home insurance, the ISO rating does factor in. And so the fact that we're going up to a 1 is something that insurance companies will look at. I wouldn't be shy about making sure your insurance agent is aware of it. It doesn't take effect until June 1, so it may not be reflected immediately. But if you want to check with your insurance agent and see if they'll take a look at that might help you with your fire insurance rates down the road.
Okay, well, it's definitely worth a look. But again, congratulations to the fire department. That's some excellent news. Okay, and then another thing that's happening around town, you might see some folks that are taking some trees down at South Park and some other neighborhood areas. The Landscape Operations Division has been working on removing some ash trees.
Right, our forestry folks, the emerald ash borer continues to ravage throughout Wisconsin. It has been here for several years. We're taking out the trees that are showing the most damage of all. We're not taking out every ash tree immediately because if it doesn't show any signs of stress from the emerald ash borer, we're trying to spread out the replacement as much as possible. So once those trees become infected with the emerald ash borer, they become brittle and they really pose a safety threat.
Right.
These branches that are coming down with our forestry folks could just very well easily come down without us prompting it, and that creates a dangerous situation that we don't want residents or their vehicles to be impacted by that.
Right. Safety's first, so we need to pay attention to that.
Well, I think it's also important that the trees will be replaced with alternative species after the stumps are removed. So we're leaving the stumps there right now. It's a little too early to take out the stumps, but after we get to the stumps, then we'll come back and do some replacement. We want to do that. We know that having a nice tree canopy in our terrace area is very important. It's good for many reasons, environmental as well as decorative, and we want to make sure that those trees get replaced when they get knocked down.
Well, it's good to know that we'll be seeing some replacement trees coming around. So, but in the meantime, can't have that risk of something falling on somebody there. So, all right, and then we have another topic here coming up that is near and dear to us in our department here, Mark. The State of the City program is being developed, and this will be a virtual event this year, coming up on March 22nd. It
is. It's a little different from prior years. It
Right.
won't be the get-together event that we enjoyed as recently as last year, but it's State of the City 2021 is on Monday, March 22nd. We'll premiere it virtually at 7 p.m. that day, so be on the lookout for it. And we'll have a great program planned, even though it'll be virtual. And I know Andy, you and all of the folks in Oshkosh Media, Jake and Scott, are working real hard to get this to be the best possible program it can. Even though it's not going to be the same live, fun, face-to-face event, but we're gonna make the most of it. It'll be a great event.
Yeah, and as folks are seeing on the screen there, that is the Oshkosh Media Facebook page, and the State of the City program is an event, so they can connect to the event there and sign up for it that way. And this is actually kind of a multimedia event this year as well. So they'll be able to watch it on Facebook, but then also it's available on GovTV and all the GovTV platforms. So streaming online, streaming through streaming devices on their television. So there are many different ways to access it. And really, we're looking at a lot of the unsung heroes this year.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that people understand that, while everything was going on with COVID, we're still business as usual, getting things done, and a lot of things that maybe people take for granted that we do on a regular basis. We want to tell that story and honor people. We typically honor members of our boards and commissions, but individuals and organizations with some awards that we've done in recent years who really help make Oshkosh a great place.
Sure.
And we want to honor them as well. And they're also unsung heroes. They've still been doing the work of making our community better and partnering with us on so many levels to make Oshkosh a great place to live. So, and then on top of that, I'll be talking about a few little ideas and plans we have for 2021. We're still working on those things, and we want to share them with you about some of the things we have going on and what people can look for in 2021. There's a lot to look forward to, so I watch the event, if for no other reason, just to hear us talk about it. We're really proud of those accomplishments and our plans.
Just a little preview there. There's quite a bit to look forward to in the upcoming year. So we're excited to roll that one out. So we'll have some more information continuing on that, and take a look at that Oshkosh Media Facebook page for more details. Okay, and then also, Mark, there have been some League of Women Voters candidates forums that have been recorded recently. Oshkosh Common Council, mayor races, and some others. We'll be looking for those.
Oshkosh Media and the League of Women Voters have a long relationship of educating the public about candidates for public office, and that tradition continues. Candidates forums for mayor and the council. Watch for those replays on Oshkosh Media with all of our access points for watching them. And we're also going to be putting out Winnebago County Executive and Oshkosh School Board races debates as well. So. Right. They're all virtual. They are not here at City Hall like they've been in the past.
Right.
But they will be out there, and the League of Women Voters has created a format to their candidate forum that I think people will see the similarities, even though it's with the boxes of having it done in Zoom. I think a lot of people are becoming accustomed to those, but we want people to know about who their candidates are for public office and help them make an educated choice.
Exactly. And also, folks can subscribe to the Oshkosh Media YouTube channel to be informed of when these forums get posted to the YouTube channel. And just a reminder, too, that election is coming up. The spring election is April 6th. And folks can access myvote.wi.gov for complete election information and to learn about absentee ballots and all sorts of things.
And early voting will be starting very soon.
Right.
Be on the lookout for that, so that regardless of which way you want to cast your vote, we certainly want to get people out there to vote. Local races don't get as much turnout as, say, the presidential election, so let's buck that trend and get a few more people out there and get greater participation. Local government's closest to the people.
You bet.
And we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to vote, regardless of what the election may be. There's also state school superintendent on the ballot.
That's
as well as all the other local races. So, and I think there's Court of Appeals and things like that.
Okay.
Other races out there, not just local. Although we of course we care most about our local races here.
Sure. Well, that election is coming up on April 6th, so we encourage folks to learn more about it and through watching these candidates forums. So, okay, Mark, I think it's time that we take a quick break here. And what we'll do is come back right after this, and we'll take a look at some agenda highlights from the upcoming Tuesday, March 9th Common Council meeting. So stay tuned, and we'll be back right after this.
I'm City Manager Mark Roloff. Join us for State of the City 2021, a special virtual event on Monday, March 22nd. We'll update you on the progress that Oshkosh has been making and share some stories about how that progress came to be. Following the presentation, we'll honor community members and groups who help support our city. Please join us for this year's special virtual State of the City event, Monday, March 22nd at 7 p.m. on Oshkosh Media Facebook, Oshkosh Media Gov TV, Spectrum Channel 10, Uverse Channel 99, or streaming to Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV devices. Please join us for State of the City 2021.
And welcome back to the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, joined by your City Manager for the City of Oshkosh, Mark Roloff. And we'll take a look here at some agenda highlights for the March 9th Council meeting. So, Mark, there's an agenda item looking at West 9th Avenue reconstruction, utilities, I believe. And will this stretch all the way to Clairville Road?
Well, this is a change order because after a local developer was made aware that we were expanding 9th Avenue, they approached us and said, well, we are thinking of doing a development near Clairville and 9th, and so they asked us if we would extend it. So the area you see there in yellow is the extension of the utilities that are being proposed. It's that farmed area immediately to the south of 9th that they're interested in developing. So they agreed to pay for the extension that they would have to pay if we were doing this any other time. So we'll extend that, and then they'll come back and get approval for a subdivision in that area. We know that there are people who are interested in residential development, single family, and they want municipal sewer and water. And even though this area is currently in the town of Algoma, they would get attached to the city and develop that area. That doesn't take it all the way to Clairville, though, Andy. Mm-hmm. And the idea would be that eventually it would go around the corner, extend all the way to Clairville, and then go down Clairville. Okay. But we'll wait for further developments down the road. Most of that area isn't going to get attached to the city until 2023. So it'll be more likely that we'll be waiting a little bit before that happens. But this developer didn't want to wait, sees an opportunity in the market to add some single-family housing, and we want to be able to accommodate that and hopefully meet some market needs for housing right here in the city.
Mm-hmm. And just to clarify too, that's the road construction actually extends on 9th to Linden Oaks and not affecting this area.
That is correct. Okay. All we're going to do here is dig up the street and put in utilities. We're not going to extend the street because the street, as you said, only goes to Linden Oaks. We already have utilities that go out to Paul's Place, but because there's a lot of development yet to be done over here, we didn't want to do the street completely just yet. We want to give that a little time. So that's a great question, and but the street will be dug up if we go through with this development as I anticipate the Plan Commission would. You'll see a lot of earthwork going on there this summer.
Okay, that'll be a busy area. Okay, and then we have an item for a professional services agreement relating to development at Lakeshore Park. There's a lot going on over there.
Well, if you've been paying attention to the master plan for Lakeshore Park, you saw that there was a pavilion, a four-season shelter that was proposed. And the Parks Board took a look at it, and it was pretty ambitious, but they were very excited with it. And to be honest with you, Andy, I'm really excited too with the photograph or the renderings that have been done.
Oh, they look great.
They're just gorgeous.
Yeah.
A bunch of different views. Here would be the view if you were coming in from Lake Butamore and going around the curve there at the river, what it would look like from the lake. And just look at it really complements the Oshkosh Corporation headquarters. It does. All the glass and everything. And, a rival would be if you came from, driving in there with your family or something like that. But the whole idea is to get the design for a building that will accommodate 125 to 150 people. And here's the trail view. This is if you were biking or walking, this is how you would come upon the site. And it really does a wonderful job of being very open. Those glass panels would come off so that it could be open air during the nicer season and then close it up, but still be able to enjoy the outdoors 4 seasons. So really excited about the concept of this. So the idea is to get council to approve the design. This is a little more ambitious than we initially anticipated.
Okay.
So we're probably going to be looking for some additional funds. We're using all the funds from the proceeds of the Lakeshore Golf Course sale, and we'll need a little more money. And so we're going to be reaching out to our philanthropic community. We're going to be identifying some savings and some other projects to get this done. But we want to get the design done and frankly, get the public aware of it and hopefully a little excited. I certainly am. I think this will be a wonderful addition to our park system. It'll be a wonderful water gateway into the city, and I think it'll complement that entire area, and it'll help enhance the neighborhood surrounding Lakeshore and Rainbow Parks.
Sure. And what a wonderful location. I mean, right by the water, folks can take advantage of that. And
it'll be a great family location. You know, I can anticipate doing some things out there in the winter, whether it's cross-country skiing at Lakeshore Park or doing some other things. I mean, we've got a lot of plans for Lakeshore Park, and this will be the first really visible one. And I'm really looking forward to talking about it with the community and getting some more excitement generated.
Okay. All right. Very good. Our next item is similarly, for some outdoor activities, a professional service agreement looking at the Pioneer Drive Riverwalk. And wasn't there supposed to be a grant for this?
There was supposed to be a grant for this project. This is the next extension along the Riverwalk to get us closer to Pioneer Island, just east of Main Street, basically along where Pioneer Drive is right now. Eventually, Pioneer Drive will go away and 9th Avenue will be extended over to Pioneer Island. But this is where the Riverwalk's proposed. But you are correct that we were seeking a grant that did not get awarded by the DNR.
Okay.
We had an 8-year run of grants. So it was about time that our winning streak was going to end. But we're going to find where the funds are to get the rest of it done. We did have some funds appropriated, but we are counting on the grant. Without the grant, we're going to get the design done, and then we're going to come back to council and identify how we can get this pulled off. The idea is to hopefully still get it done this year.
Okay, and then this is leading further to the east.
It is, and it'll get us right up to Pioneer Drive, which will continue in a north-south, get us to the train bridge, and then eventually to Pioneer Island. I wish I could tell you we had something more news with Pioneer Island. That's one of my ongoing efforts. But when there's something to tell you, I'll be here telling you about it, Andy.
Okay, and we'll follow up on that one. Okay, and then we have an item coming up later in the agenda for transitional residential housing, and I understand that this is future planning for compatibility and that sort of thing.
Yeah, transitional residential housing includes properties that the Department of Corrections runs, and we want to make sure that we put them on the same level as, say, a boarding house. And so the code has been rewritten to put them into that category, and so they'd be under the same rules and regulations for that. Eventually, the idea is that they're not going to be permitted in single and two-family housing areas. We don't think that facilities of that size, boarding houses or transitional residential housing, belong in single or two-family, but more about multifamily and areas like that. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay, all right, very good. And then we have an ordinance for relating to face coverings, and so we have a statewide
mask mandate.
Mandate in effect. So this is a local one?
This would be in case the state were to rescind it or it would go away, that we would continue to have a face covering. We would enforce it the same way we've been enforcing it. And I can tell you, those involve referrals to the county health department. We haven't made a single referral to county health. We do address the issue, but we do it mostly through health department education, and I think it's been effective. The real issue for council is they want to be able to have it in place in case something happens at the state level where it goes away. If the state reinstates it, then ours will go away. It's really just a matter of having a consistent order in place for the community, but it's really about promoting safe habits. Keep the social distancing up, wash your hands, and wear a mask. We're still repeating that and still trying to push that through. really, I think the issue for council is it going to be a 60-day duration or a 90-day duration, and I think that'll be the bulk of the discussion on Tuesday.
Okay, all right, very good. And then there's another item for the Miles Kimball redevelopment. Is this part of the Sawdust District area?
This is a building in the Sawdust District, the Miles Kimball building that the city sold to a private developer about 15 years ago.
Okay.
Hasn't made a lot of progress, but we've got a local developer who is interested in doing this. I think they've got a good plan for the area. I've seen it. And it involves some incentives through tax increment financing district where the extra property tax that they generate will go back to reimburse them for some of the costs that they incur. We think it's a good idea, and it'll really help Main Street and Sawdust District get developed. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay, that's an important area there. So,
Yeah.
So very good. Okay, and then there's an approval being sought for Economic Development Forgivable Loan Program, and really this is trying to stimulate some higher paying jobs.
Yeah, the idea behind this is we have a revolving loan fund program, but we know that sometimes there are some special projects that offer above average wages and are very competitive, but they're manufacturing type of wages, and we want to make sure that we take advantage of those. And if we can offer a little extra incentive on top of, say, a loan that they have to repay back, but if they create higher paying jobs and sustain those jobs for a given amount of time, and they do enough investment in the community that after a period of years we could forgive those loans. So that's the whole idea. We want to, with GoEDC, Greater Oshkosh Economic Development, allocate $60,000 for up to $20,000 in loans, so maybe up to 3 of these. We're going to experiment, see if it works, and if it does, we've got some good paying jobs that we can add out into the community, and that's good for everybody.
Okay. And then there's another item coming up, Mark, for the creation of an Oshkosh Poet Laureate. So I understand that this is, a lot of partners are involved with this.
Yeah, this was discussed at the council meeting a while back, and they the council referred it to the library board, and the library board was very well receiving of this idea. And Mayor Palmieri worked with Jeff Gilderson-Dewey, our library director. Library board endorsed it, and the whole idea is to create a ceremonial position of poet laureate. The library board took on the responsibility to do fundraising for whatever cost, however minor they may be, to fund this program. The idea of a poet laureate is promote the art form of poetry, and that certainly helps contribute to the library's mission of being a place for literacy and promoting reading and art forms of literature, of which poetry is. So the council, like I said, was very receptive to this. So this would create this position, and then a group from the library board would review and recommend to the mayor a poet laureate, and the mayor would bring that to council to give their approval to, and largely ceremonial, but still promoting the art form and promoting culture and literacy in our community. It sounds like a great idea to promote literacy in our community.
Absolutely, and Oshkosh hasn't seen something like this before.
No, this is starting to grow amongst cities throughout the country. I'd say about 2/3 of the states have poet laureates, and other cities are starting to do it. And I think it's very consistent with the mission of the library. So I appreciate the library board being so receptive to this idea and want to move forward with it.
Okay, very good. Well, Mark, I think our time is about up for today's show. Thank you for being here and joining us today.
Always a pleasure, Andy. Thanks.
Very good. Again, that Oshkosh Common Council meeting is coming up on Tuesday, March 9th, and you can watch that live on Oshkosh Media Gov TV, and that is Spectrum Channel 10, Uverse Channel 99, streaming on YouTube and on OshkoshMedia.org. Or you can listen to it on the radio. That's on Oshkosh FM 101.9, which is also online and on the TuneIn Radio app for phones and tablets. And you can use your favorite streaming device to watch in high definition, including on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV with the Oshkosh Media app. So again, thanks for joining us today, and please join us again for another City Manager's Report. Stay safe and stay well.